It's January the 20th, 2016, and we just pulled out a video about the BC judge due to the trolls. There was a picture there by Brad Hill from British Columbia, and it's a crap picture, and it has his name on it, which is copyright. That's what you're supposed to do if you use copyright material. If available, provide the name as a courtesy. And so he filed a copyright strike against me. He tried to extort me first, and I reminded him that it's illegal to file illegal copyrights, and he said, yeah, I filed it anyway. And so I pulled the video, and I think that's the lowest form of life imaginable. I gave him the opportunity to come on the show here right now, and he won't reply to me. But he had no problem filing an illegal complaint against me. So I had to pull the video because it could take weeks to restore everything. And I don't want to be shooting this morning, trust me. But a British Columbia judge has made a ruling 2 weeks ago, week ago, against me that I can't use a banana as potato chips walking in the sunshine versus man-made radiation, because the judge claimed the science is settled and that they're the same. That bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine are dirty bombs and that they will kill you. And that people who had that, by default, that's the default of what she done. And this was due to University of Victoria in British Columbia, Canada, and the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. There's strontium, milk calls them Woods Horrors. These are the military industrial complexes, pet lap dogs, genetically modified lap dogs. And so I gotta come out and tell that story again, because otherwise this is what this was all about. So the judge, they done the same thing with Banfield Director, remember that? Filed a legal claim against me, and I beat that one. I beat a lot of these, all of them. But right now when I got out of jail, I had 4 strikes on my account, taking down the 4 videos that were in dispute that I went to jail for. They didn't get a court order to knock those videos down. They used ghost accounts. And when I got out of jail, these old videos were 4 strikes on my account. And so if I didn't take that down today, the account would have disappeared. So this is a vicious and vile and unstopping attacks upon me. This is relentless. This is 2,000 nuclear PR firms gone to bat because they don't have many targets. And these people got to make $1 because they're evil. They do it for free. And what the judge done by saying bananas and potato chips were walking in sunshine are terrorist weapons, and then the prosecutor's telling the judge that because that's now a ruling, I won't need any expert witnesses. And the fact that the prosecutor quoted 3 expert witnesses, I won't need 3 expert witnesses. How did he know I was going to have 3 expert witnesses without bugging me, bugging my phones or doing, stalking me? How could they know that? It's really interesting. And so, but by doing that, they completely deny justice. By doing that, they set a precedence where you can't have a defense, you can't have a motive, and you can't have context. And then they barred the fact that in a 45-minute video, an 8-second sound clip is not allowed to have context. You're not allowed to have the 45-minute video that is the context of why I said a comment. You're only allowed to have an 8-second comment. Now, none of this stuff matters. I can beat these people with all the other stuff. And I got 25,000 supporting documentations. But it's hard to beat people when they're stalking you like this and they're contacting people and getting them to put illegal copyright claims against you to silence you, to take down that material, to stop exposing this exact same type of video that I'm doing right now. And that I have no choice but to come out today and try to make some sense out of this. And I can't really fucking raise my voice, so the microphone is a lot closer. And it's just shocking. I'll check that email. And I don't get the reply. Let's see if you contacted me. I want him to come on my fucking show. No. No such luck. So a BC judge has now said, hi everybody, a BC judge, a British Columbia sitting judge, has ruled bananas and potato chips and walking in sunshine are terrorist weapons. On purpose, so we couldn't have a fair trial, or we couldn't even have a conversation, or that people couldn't appreciate there's actually a difference. And so I recommend everybody contact the British Columbia Victoria Courthouse on Vancouver Island, the capital of British Columbia, and put attention, bananas, potato chips are not dirty bombs. Banana and potato chips are not nuclear fuel rods. Banana and potato chips are not, got nothing to do, are good for you. Got nothing to do with man-made ionized radiation. That bananas and potato chips can't mutate fruit flies, but anything from a nuclear reactor can. Bananas and potato chips can't mutate humans or mammals, but anything from a nuclear chain reaction can. That bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine don't have terrorist laws attached to them. Until now. But everything from a nuclear power plant does. And that this was odious and completely uncalled for to do something like that, and it was to mock us and mock me, and it's a mockery of the system. And now, once the judge done all that, the judge looked at the prosecutor and said to the prosecutor, what did he do? So the judge didn't even know what the fuck I was there for. The judge didn't have a fucking clue. The judge was there to intimidate me, to threaten me, to coerce me. The British Columbia judge needs thousands of people to send these people, all of them, everybody there. Find an email there, find a phone number there, call them up and tell them a banana and a potato chip. Be courteous, be polite. I can't tell you how to live your life, but I'm suggesting you do that. Strongly. I'm praying for you to do that. I want everybody to do that. I'll ask for that every chance I get. I wasn't even intending to blog again. I've been that sick, it's unbelievable. Everybody's, Dana, you got to go to the hospital. What the fuck are you talking about? Goes up to that spot where children are murdered every day with chemotherapy. And you want me to go up there and get fucking cured by, what are you, crazy? These are the people that raise the limits of radiation over and over and over as acceptable. People are out there in the chat room were saying they got to kidnap me and fucking drag me down there. I appreciate you're worried about me. If you're worried about me, why would you send me into the fucking arms of death? Why would you send me into the pharmaceutical monster itself? Why would you wish that up on me? Or was this a campaign? I'm sure lots of people thought that was the right thing, even though they watched hundreds of my videos. They still can't work out what I say. It seems to me that it's surreal that after all the work I have done, that people don't know the difference between good and bad. And that I advocated with evidence constantly. That I'm not just some random, it's not just some random thought in my head when I talk about stuff. It's well flushed out, it's well understood, it's well documented, everything I talk about. I'll give you some context. This is allegedly Unit 4 in Japan. Huh? You say, what? Wait now, Dana, I thought it looked like that. Isn't that Unit 4, Dana? Yeah. The media come out and said it looks like that. Look at the roof. Look at the walls. Look at the ceiling. Look at the paint job. Look at the spick and span. Look at the people. No one can get into Chernobyl, and Chernobyl doesn't look like that. That's a 10-story building. This blew up and caught fire and melted down. It doesn't look like that. It looks like that. It looks like that. And that's why they tore all of that off and ended up with that. You can see these buildings don't touch each other. That was the cover story. Then they rolled out this picture and said, now it looks like that. Oh, we built a building alongside of it. Now it looks like that. And like this. These buildings detonated. Urchins could be the next victim of the sea star wasting virus. And so 200 miles of the coastline And they said urchins. This is Smithsonian. That was the Smithsonian and National Geographics. We covered 15,000 miles of the coastline in a dinghy. And we took pictures of the coastline. These are all from Louise Narrow's and the Queen Charlotte's. This is what it would look like pre-Fukushima. This is what it looks like post-Fukushima. This is post-Fukushima, pre-Fukushima. So you don't need to be a genius to work out there's an issue. The fact that we've covered 15,000 miles, 260 days on the ocean, doesn't mean nothing to a judge. If she doesn't know that. She doesn't. I'm not saying the judge is a bad person in the context of, well, she is a bad person. She didn't know what I was charged with, and she put enormous amount of idiocracy into her statement by claiming bananas and potato chips and walking in sunshine are dirty bombs or terrorist weapons or equal to nuclear weapons or will mutate your children and fruit flies and everything else. It's fucking ludicrous. It's an insult that somebody intelligent would say something like that and then make a ruling and claim it's science because Woods Hole and UVic have a degree. You know, Hitler had all kinds of people with science degrees mutilating children. The federal government done it all the time. Every country does it. They get doctors and they're used to kill children. We have a whole history of doctors killing people. You go look at your local hospital where they pump people up with radioactive waste. A hospital is a murder machine. It's not something to fix. Yeah, you go there to have a baby or fix a fucking broken arm. But if you get cancer and you're a child, you'll get chemotherapy. And chemotherapy is where you signed a piece of paper that said you can put a stick up my ass and walk around till I fucking die and nobody can do nothing about it. 15,000 miles of the coastline. Think about that though. 15,000 miles of the coastline. And what? It's naked. It's empty. It's like it doesn't matter to anybody. It's the most devastating thing imaginable on this planet. It's the most horrific thing imaginable on this planet. That we have our entire coastline is eradicated. That phytoplankton are missing. And krill are missing. And anchovies are missing. And sardines are missing. And squid are missing. The herring are missing. In particular, the last 3 years, till all the whales and mammals and animals. Now the salmon are all gone. There's no snow in the mountains in British Columbia, or ice pack, I should say. There's no ice pack. It took 1,000 to 5,000 years to put the ice pack in those mountains. They regulate the rivers and the estuaries and the streams and the coastline waters. And so everything has failed now. The insects are gone. The recent mass die-off of birds on our coastline. Feels like my kidneys are going to explode every time I cough. You know, I spent 3 days I couldn't sleep. I had to roll over every 15 seconds for 72 hours. Get someone to time you for 10 minutes and they want, you're healthy. Sitting up wherever, and you got to shift your body every 15 seconds for 10 minutes. And don't miss one. Don't miss that 15 seconds or start over again till you get it. And you kind of get where I'm coming from, maybe. There's a little tiny bit of what I'm talking about. And you can't get out of bed. Think about that one. You can't sleep, you can't eat. I'm surrounded by friends and family, but I can't let them in the door. But they'll come to the door to make sure I'm okay. They'll bring me whatever I want. Whenever I want it, on the drop of a hat. You know what I'm like. You know what my friends are real friends. I don't got random friends. My friends are very handful of them. And like me, I'm loyal to everyone that I covet. And I don't let many people inside my personal world. They have to have some reference point for me. That I don't invade people's privacy and people should do it to me. But a BC judge has now made it impossible to have a conversation. Thanks to an unbelievable corrupt prosecutor, an unbelievable violent and vicious thug. They wouldn't even look me in the eye. They used deception and obfuscation to avoid me being able to talk about, thinking that he can avoid talking about Fukushima or anything else, when the disclosure is full of Fukushima stuff, when I have a right to defend myself, when I have a right to have context, and that will be overturned. But what we need people to do is to contact the Victoria courts, and we'll be advocating that every stream. Tell them it's not a banana, it's not a terrorist weapon, and that a potato chip is good for you, and that walking in the sunshine is cold, and that the human experience has been doing it since the beginning of the time, and that is not radiation, that is emitters. Man-made radiation is a dirty bomb. Man-made radiation is a terrorist weapon. Man-made radiation has to stay on the nuclear site because it's not like a banana. Look, the reactors in Japan have 5 million pounds in each reactor. I want you to just listen to my words. Listen to me. Listen. Pay attention for a second, so you can really appreciate how dangerous this is. Versus bananas and potato chips or water and sunshine. It's incontestably insignificant is what they are. But if I took a pound with 1,500 people in the theater, I'd kill everybody there in 20 minutes. So by default, I can take 5 million pounds, put it in a pound in 5 million buildings, and I can exterminate the entire human population in 20 minutes. We can wipe out this entire planet in 20 minutes. Get everybody to walk in, 1,500 people in each building at the one time, and in 20 minutes everything on the planet is dead. It's that simple. Well, we could do that for billions of years. And that they tell you it's like a banana and a potato chip in desperation now for 70 years, where they even got a judge, a belligerent judge, to make a fucking ruling in that effect, is the most ludicrous thing imaginable, and the most desperate act I've ever saw. I was as desperate as me coming out here this morning to make sure this story gets told, to make sure we're not denied, to make sure that the truth is well known, to make sure that people have an option. Just like I gave this idiot this morning with his picture an opportunity to come here and listen. I would have ripped him to pieces. He was right not to come on the show. He was smart not to come here. He's smart not to have his phone number up on his website, because we'd be phoning him right now. And we'd mock him good. Oh, baby. But like it's so hard to do what I do and what I've done, and to continue to do what I'm doing. But yet, I'm compelled. I don't want to do it. I can't stand it. But yet I do it gladly. And I know I come out and I'm bitter today. I'm bitter. I know I am. And I'm hurting. And I got 6-7 days in bed now. And that is something that will take the good out of anybody. It's frightening. And that the fact that I'm out of bed is good news. And the fact that we raised enough money easily, what I was hoping to raise, I only was hoping to raise 1,000, and we raised 3. And that's incredible. And it just shows you, well, it shows me anyway, that the fight is not lost, and that the ability to go on is stronger than ever, and that we are closing the gap, and we have now put them into a position where they got to go out and find some idiot to put a copyright claim against me to shut me down. They couldn't get a court order to take down my videos that I was charged with because there was no substance there. They had to use a private police force in Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And this same private police force is the first cyber security in Canada. And that one claimed they couldn't find my name. The first cyber police force in Canada, still going strong, couldn't figure out who I was on the internet, allegedly. And that's why they didn't have me. They weren't able to find me. But you got to realize, Vic, tried to have me arrested twice in 2014. A week before I went on the expedition, they tried to have me arrested again. 2015, they tried to have me arrested. At the end of 2015, they had me arrested and charged with criminal harassment. The media came out and said I was charged with uttering death threats. And so I was already vilified in the media. I was already prosecuted in the media. There will be no fair trial for Dana. And they will use every tactic imaginable now in desperations to silence us. And they've used everything imaginable. I see Jan just put up the video, a little short video a couple of days ago for me, thank goodness. And Miss Milky the Clown won. And her video was stuck there for 5 hours. I think it was 641 views or something. And my video was stuck too during that same period. But all the other videos in my subscription weren't stuck. But those two videos, which were one and the same, were. And that the court records I got, the disclosure showed that the University of Victoria worked with the FBI and Saanich private police force and Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution to get YouTube to censor us. Well, to censor me. That's in the disclosure. Without a word, without a conviction, without a charge. They were trying to charge me and they couldn't get a charge. That's stalking. That's a fishing expedition. And then now they don't have any legs at all to stand on, and they say bananas, they got to judge the rule bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine are the same as terrorist weapons and dirty bombs. People need to contact the British Columbia Victoria Courthouse on Vancouver Island and tell them, attention, banana haters. Just think about these courthouses. They all know each other. You can send an email to anybody in that building. You can call up anybody in that building. Be polite. You call them up and say you're extraordinarily disappointed. That's the way forward. I'm too friggin' sick to fight. I don't think I'll be coming back, but here I am. And now that I'm back, I'll probably always be back. But 6 days in the bed will do that to you, I suppose. And that it's not me that we're talking about, is us. I don't exist without you. I only exist because of you. I only exist because you asked for it. Because that's what you all wanted. You wanted someone to go do that job. The job is done. The pictures are up. I've met my obligations. And that I'm going to produce a documentary. Like an obligation in the context of what I said I was going to do, I don't. There is no obligation to what I'm doing, don't get me wrong. I do this willingly. I do this, you have no idea. There's nothing I won't do for this planet. There's no limit to how hard I'll push myself for what's left on this planet and for what's coming and for the future generations that are going to struggle and be destroyed because of what we allow to happen and what it was our watch. It was our watch, and the corruption is so deep and so entrenched in the justice system that now they claim a banana and a potato chip and walking in sunshine are equal to nuclear fuel rods, that a 1 pound of a fuel rod is 12 pounds. But a 1 pound of it will kill 1,500 people every 20 minutes till the end of time. Does that sound like a banana or a potato chip or walking in the sunshine to you? Is there anything more stupider than someone saying that they are? Because for 70 years they have done that. And there's no one to hold them accountable. That's why they do it. No one will hold them accountable. There's no university will take away their credentials. How come University of Victoria and Woods Hole don't roll out a nuclear scientist? Why do they roll out a marine chemist? Why not roll out a nuclear scientist? Canada has 25 reactors, for goodness sakes. It's because they can't come out and tell you it's like a banana. Because they don't want to come out and say it because they know that that's the end of them. And they can't back it up. There is no literature to back that up. There's a mental institution to try to help fix these people. But there is no way to fix the damage they've done. You can't change the depth of the Pacific Ocean. It's an extinction event. And it's just like that stupid idiot who put a copyright on me this morning doesn't have the morals to come on the show today, did he? He was okay to fight me in the comment in the emails for the last hour, and I just sent him another email before I went live, inviting him on the show. Send me your phone number, I'll call you. And so he's bought and paid. He thinks that it's okay to extort me like that. And all he done was looked at the picture and said, you got my picture. It's legal to use 10% of his work. But he can still go ahead and file a copyright. And Google, of course, I appealed. You know, before I got arrested, a couple of weeks before that, they knocked down 30 of my videos with ghost accounts in an attempt to take down my site completely. That's what they had done also on the day I was arrested. When I got out the 4 videos, the 2 in particular that I'm charged with harassing weren't court orders. No, they used ghost counts while I was in jail to knock down the video so I wouldn't be able to come out and show them to you and say, hey, by the way, that's the video they're talking about. So no one gets to see the video. And then the court says, I'm only allowed to show an 8-second, I'm not allowed to show nothing, we're only allowed to talk about the 8-second clip. Under those kinds of rules, I can convict you of anything. This is Canada. This is not your fucking private fucking playground, you little pricks. And I'm not going to sit here and allow you to do this to us. You have an extinction event. You think that don't matter. You think that's insignificant. You think it's like a banana or a potato chip and walking in the sunshine. Good for you. But don't impose your fucking will on other people. Don't impose your will on your friends and your families and your loved ones. Because you're a fucking moron or you're bought and paid for, or you're a PR firm, or you work for UVic, and you couldn't get a job licking fucking assholes if you wanted to. Anywhere on the friggin' planet. You couldn't. I mean, when you think about that prosecutor, he couldn't get a job as a towel boy. But he can get a job as evil. Because he's good at it. He has zero conscience. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. Does that sound like a conviction to you? Does that sound like assertion to you? Does that sound like a prosecutor who's trying to bring someone to justice? What is it you want? What is it takes people to understand what I done? That I didn't go out there and Photoshop the entire coastline. That we went out there on a boat. It's well documented at my site. A beautiful girl by Dina. And that instead of looking wonderful and healthy and vibrant and amazing, instead of looking like this, think about that. Instead of looking like that, this is all the same spot. Now it looks like this. Where every millimeter would be covered, it is now naked. Where everything was just pure life. Now it's all, this is the same spot, it's all naked. Where it was absolutely unimaginably, unbelievably rich and diverse, 5,600 species. The other 4 million species in the Pacific Ocean didn't recede the coastline. There would be 75 of these leatherbacks per square meter. And that the nuclear has done that. Look, there, nothing, you will starve to death there. You will starve to death there. These pictures are from the same area. You will starve to death. You will starve to death. Because that's what it's like now. There is nothing there to eat. There is no life there. It's not rich. It's not wonderful. It's not diverse. It's not spectacular. It's empty. It's permanent. It's forever. It's the end of the world as we know it. You cannot survive without that Pacific Ocean, without a healthy ocean. It can't be done. All the insects are gone, all the mammals are gone, all the birds are gone. And it's permanent. And it's going to get worse. And it's coming at us non-stop. They can't even stop the reactors in Japan. They're not even trying to. They're running out of homeless and destitute. You won't see Harvard or Yale or Berkeley or Stanford or MIT or Oxford or any of the major institutions and shakers and movers on the planet at Fukushima. But they were all at Chernobyl because Chernobyl is a candlestick compared to Fukushima. You won't see them at Fukushima because that's a death sentence. There's 4,800 workers that have already died from Fukushima. That cancer rates for children are up to 60% in areas. Imagine this. Cancer is the last one that shows up. There's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies show up before cancer. 1,800. 1,800. Autism, dementia, diabetes, heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary gland problems. There is no way forward without a conversation, without some factual documentation. And that's what we provided throughout that 260 days and 15,000 miles of the coastline. And if you look at the Health Canada drinking water standards, look at your natural radionuclides, total uranium is not even becquerels in milligrams because it's not harmful in its natural forms. When you start refining it becomes harmful, but when it's in the rock, it's fucking relevant. Everything on the planet and the solar system is acclimated through genetic superior selection. Look at the lead. Look at the radium on your left-hand side. That's natural. 0.5 becquerels. Now look at the artificial stuff, the man-made stuff. 7,000 becquerels a liter. 7,000 becquerels a liter. 7,000 becquerels a liter. 7,000 becquerels a liter. Do you got any idea what that really truly means? Do you got any idea why they're putting that up there and why they pulled it down after we exposed them? Huh? They done that because they didn't want people to come there and see that chart you see below me. 7,000 becquerels a liter. That's a death sentence. See, cancer takes a long time to show up, but all the other stuff doesn't. When you get this stuff in your body and you can't get away from it, 7,000 becquerels a liter is 7 million per cubic meter. That's your hot tub. Anyway, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. I fucking disrespect you people for making me take down my video. So much now that I'll work 10 times as hard to tell this story. And then I'll be relentless till the day I die, seeking ways to bring you people down and to wreck every fucking thing you have and destroy any harmony you have in your life and to make sure your friends and your families and your children and your relatives and the people you fucking went to school with know what kind of scum fucker you turned into. And then I'll go to court, to the police station soon and get a few people charged because I don't see any other way. That I have to go fucking tie myself up in the courtrooms again now. And that's just the way it's got to be now. Because they'll never stop. Oh, I'm going to go because I'm going to start bending over in pain. Hugs for everybody. Don't give up the fate, folks. Don't give up that fate. I'm not going away this easy. We'll win in the end. Hugs for everybody.